Hello everybody, my name is Adepeju Prince and you're welcome to Upward and Forward with me. So today we're doing a little Bible reading, Bible study. I was in church on Sunday and the person that preached took the Bible portion or Bible reading for the day from the story of Elijah's Mount Carmel victory. That's when he and the prophets of Baal were on the mountain and he got them to put a bowl on their altar and try to call fire down. You know the whole story. He eventually called fire down, after he, decided to show that this is God. If you have ever been to Sunday school as a Christian, you know that, the story. But this will caught my attention. Now, every time I read the Bible, of course, sometimes it comes with a veil of somebody's previous interpretation, a veil of somebody's previous teaching. And so that day, as this man of God was reading, he said, the first thing was, Ahab sent for all the children of Israel and they gathered, on Mount Carmel along with the prophets of Baal. And Elijah was simply saying things like, how long will you falter between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. If it is Baal, follow him. Here's where it gets tricky. The people answered him not a word. I'm reading directly now from 1 Kings 18:21. People did not answer him. They didn't make a choice. I was stuck there. Even as the teaching was going on in church, I was stuck there. I've seen the scripture over and over. It occurred to me to think about it this way. The people did not answer. So Elijah felt it was a no-brainer. He was talking to the people, to the children of Israel. These are people that even if you've not seen the works of God, you've heard. Because, back in the day, apart from a little bit of writing, they transfer culture from one generation to the other through word of mouth. So if you're a child in Israel, the one thing you would know is about the greatness of God, how he brought them out from Egypt, the miracles and everything. So it's not even a new thing. So they didn't say anything. And at that point, it occurred to me that the worship of Baal, it was in the world of today, was like state-sponsored, it's government-sponsored, because the coin, that was our religion, or that was what she was worshiping then. And so there were altars all over, Israel for that and everything. And so if the people in Israel are quiet, it's either they know that they are supposed to identify with the God that Elijah was talking about, but they also don't want to incur the wrath of the government of the day, so they stood in between. And it was that point I realized that Elijah handling this miracle was not just to convince the people that God is the greatest. It was to also convince the children of Israel that this is the God I'm asking you to serve. This is the God. He needed to remind them. And he didn't just jump into the remembrance. He followed what they have known before. First of all, he rebuilt the altar. Right. And that was in verse 30. After rebuilding the altar, there was a way that things are supposed to be done. Before rebuilding, he waited to the time of the evening sacrifice. Then he rebuilt the altar. And then they did the sacrifice, added water and everything. And he called down fire from heaven. After all of that, the children of Israel, it was a no-brainer. See, sometimes when you are at that state, at that limbo, where even though you've seen the work of God, you've seen his face, you've enjoyed his mercies, but you're still doubting. You're still doubting the efficacy of God's word because of the current circumstances. In the case of these people, it was a crisis of faith, a choice between the God they know and the existing God of the day, But at that point, just like Elijah, you can retrace your step back to things that were familiar in God. Stay there and take it off from there. Because there is no way that you are going to have enjoyed God's mercies and then you call him again and he won't answer. Those previous things you've experienced are like cornerstones. They're like your own testimony. Sometimes you see people with very raw faith and you'll be wondering, how did this person believe for this healing and got it? How did they believe for this miracle and got it? That's because even in little things, very little things, they have trusted God, it has worked, and so they keep. It's the same faith. If you have faith like a mustard seed, you can move mountains. So think about it. Rather than be like children of Israel and be silent in the face of a crucial decision, you cannot be silent even when you doubt it, when all the circumstance around you is pointing to you not acknowledging what God has done or identifying with Him. Open your mouth and begin to speak. There will always be that moment, there will always be that season in your life that you can refer to where God has shown up strong. And if He has not shown up at all in your life, there will always be an Elijah around you, someone who is unshakable in his belief about God, who can guide you through the period of evening sacrifice, through repairing your altar, through calling down the fire. But you're not going to stay in the position of that forever, I can assure you. And it will come, and it will happen. All right? So if you at any point in time, or especially in this season, you need to see God in a way that is so convincing, or you need to be remembered of how you used to be in God, this is the scripture for you. But don't be silent. All right? And I will not be silent.